Hello, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Tasmanian Heritage Fiddle podcast coming your way, recorded on Wednesday afternoon. That's why I'm saying good afternoon. My name is C.C. Thornley, and I play banjo.
And I'm Emily Wolfe, and I play fiddle.
Awesome. And so what we're going to do is every podcast we play you 5 traditional Tasmanian songs from the very rich Tasmanian canon of music. When I say canon, I'm thinking of science fiction canon, of course. The very rich resources of Tasmanian folk music. So we're going to do that today. We're going to play you 5 tunes. But first, I want to tell you about the incredible misadventures we've had getting this podcast. We had this spectacular thing lined up for you.
We so did as well.
Oh, man, that was painful. So what happened was, on the weekend, we went to the Evandale Veranda Festival with another band we play in called the Black Swans of Trespass. You can check it out if you want. And it was very good. We went to one of the places we were playing was the Clarendon Arms. And after we did our gig for the Veranda Festival, I had this brilliant flash of genius. I said, Emily, let's do a live podcast in the beer garden of the Clarendon Arms in the evening. It'll be great. And it was reasonably good. I'd say it was the finest podcast we've ever done.
It was raw as anything. And I gave you a look going, you really want to do it?
And I dragged her out, folks. She was
You really
not
did,
happy,
because we'd done like a 90-minute set beforehand.
If you've ever tried to move your cat off a couch, you know exactly the emotions that I was subject to. Anyway, so we set the Zoom up and we started recording. We recorded the whole podcast. We recorded 5 songs with a live audience.
Yep. We had
who loved it.
Audience participation as well.
Indeed, yeah.
Yep.
And the Zoom clapped out and didn't record any of it. I think I got like 1 minute and 11 seconds. When we got home, I thought, this is going to be great. I'll just plug this into the machine. I'm so enthusiastic. This is going to be terrific. And I get, where's the rest of it? Oh, no. Oh, Emily's going to kill me. Oh, my God. Yes,
I got a very interesting message that night, and I knew something was wrong. And I was like, when you say something like that, you properly mean it.
Yeah. Now, Emily, I just want you to know and so on and so forth. It went on like that.
Yes.
But the Clarendon Arms Hotel, what a spectacular pub.
Oh, it was an amazing afternoon as well, because we played there on the Sunday afternoon, and it was a beautiful, warm afternoon. And
so if you're ever in, if you come to Tassie, you'll probably, if you got your own car, you'll come on the ferry and you pop off in Devonport and you head down south. And as you go past Launceston, there's a little town just off to the side called Evandale. You might have heard us speak of it before. Go into the Clarendon Arms Hotel and go and chat to them and have a meal there, because they've got these amazing historical murals all over the walls. Did you notice those?
Not quite. No, you were telling me about it.
I was in there for hours just going,
very
look
excited.
At that. Oh, look at that. There's an old fella with a horse. That happened here. Some old fella sat on a rock just over near that river, and there's a picture of it. It was all real. And your old man, your father was there, who was the old man Wolfe Jr.
He loves that, I think.
Does he?
I don't know.
But he was also, because they also had all these antiques, and he was a wealth of information about stuff.
I know, we really should have recorded that too.
You know what my favourite story was? He got very excited about this box. Just this wooden box. Very excited. He got very excited,
well,
folks.
because they're really rare and they go for very expensive at clearance sales. Because Dad goes to a lot of them. He always tells me about that.
And your family lives down at Wolfberry Farm, so it was a berry packing box from the 1920s.
So no wonder he was excited.
Yeah. And so what they used to do is the berry boxes were made to a uniform size, so they were tared, so that...
Yes.
That's
if you what we do as well. We tear them when we're packing.
So what that means, folks, if you don't know what that means, you put the box on the thing and then you put your berries in and it subtracts the weight of the box from the berries you're putting into. So what they used to do... before they put the berries in, they'd soak the box in water. So they get like an extra, 13 grams or something of water from the box.
Oh.
Those canny little sods.
Sneaky.
So he was particularly excited about that.
Oh, I missed that.
That was a great yarn.
That's
anyway,
great.
So another thing happened during the week is that I fell down an Eileen McCoy rabbit hole where
yes.
I sort of was digging around on the internet. I was actually looking for examples of people that had played the Tasmanian Waltz, and I stumbled across Eileen McCoy. And Eileen McCoy was Eileen McCoy's husband, and he was a country and western singer, and he sung this song called the Tasmanian Waltz, and it was nothing like the tune we play. it was basically I suspect he got money from the advertising board because it was like how good Tassie is every second verse, which I don't think we should be telling a lot of people.
Keep it a secret.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay here, folks, but the unemployment's rife. The gang warfare's
really
through the roof. Oh, the drop bears are just... Come breeding season, you can't go outside without getting your arms ripped off.
It's a bit tricky. But
blood everywhere. It's horrifying. Tassie's a dreadful place. Get us out of here, please. Don't come here. Just chuck us a rope and a suitcase full of money. We'll sort out the rest. In fact, forget the rope. Just chuck us some money. That'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll sort it out for you.
So anyway, I stumbled across this interview of Eileen McCoy on the National Trust of Australia recordings of old people and things, which you can search for and find. And we found this tune called Take Your Boots Off and Go to Bed. It's called the Take Your Boots Off and Go to Bed Mazurka. So if you don't know what a mazurka is in a triple meter, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but it has this thing to it. And the thing is, it's usually like a crotchet and a few quavers, so da 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 da, kind of. Well, that was probably not a good example. But if you think of the phrase "take your boots off and go to bed," that's kind of a mazurka thing. Yeah.
And also how they dance, because mazurka is a style of dance as well, and it was like a skip hop type thing. So it's
a subdivided 3/4.
Yeah, and we sort of play. Well, it says on here, like sort of we got to swing the quavers as well. So it's really, I like playing mazurkas. I'm really stoked that you found this one because we haven't got many mazurkas. Well, I haven't played many mazurkas that are.
I couldn't find sheet music, so I had to just transcribe it from what she played. So this is our best rendition of "Take Your Boots Off and Go to Bed" Mazurka by Eileen McCoy. Should we just go all in?
Yeah.
I've only learnt this song for a week, so I've got a feeling I'm going to stuff this up.
You'll be right.
Yeah, you got those looks ready?
I've got all the looks ready.
Who's that? What, we both together?
2, 1, 2.
That wasn't too bad for a song we don't really know. That was Take Your Boots Off and Go to Bed Mazurka that we discovered Eileen McCoy playing on the National Trust. Now, you remember our good friend Steve Gadd?
Old mate. Yeah.
Old mate Steve Gadd. Now, Steve Gadd, he's the guy who started the Tasmanian Heritage Fiddle Ensemble, and he's a wealth of information, and every week we get a bundle of letters from him correcting us on our historical inaccuracies. So that gave me an idea. I said, why don't we give him a job? Why don't we gainfully employ him? So I wrote to Steve. I said, Steve, will you become the historical consultant? And he said, I'm far too busy to do that. I've got no time at all resurrecting the history music of Tasmania. He goes off into the southwest and he finds these songs lying around on mountains and under giant trees and stuff. So he's far too busy. But he said what he can do, he'll send us the Steve Gaddbot 2000. The Steve Gaddbot 2000 is the state-of-the-art artificial Android version of Steve Gadd, and I've got it here right now. I'll just wheel it in. It's a bit heavy.
It's a bit heavy.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now I'm gonna just turn it on. Yeah. All right. Just give it a second. It'll warm up. It's going. Yep. There might be a bit of smoke. That's okay. Just watch that away. All right. Now I'm just going to plug in the information now. We're going to just plug in that information in. All right. And I'll just give it a couple of percussive maintenance bangs. And now it's just going to compute for us. Computing. I just put in the songs that we're going to play.
Okay. Right.
Just give it a second.
Waiting.
Oh, hang on, I've just got to give it another nudge.
Careful.
Jeez. Oh, those arms are big and sharp. Why does it need arms?
I don't know. It's going to play metal band, right?
I don't know. All right, cool. All right, hang on, it's ready. It's going to print it out. All right, I'll just turn it off. Ah, there we go.
Man, that was impressive.
That was impressive, wasn't it? That's the Steve Gadd Bot 2000, and it's printed out some information on the tunes that we did. So here's what it has to say about Eileen McCoy. Eileen McCoy is often referred to as the Apple Isle Fiddler, and she taught herself to play at the age of 14. And over her lifetime, she accumulated a vast repertoire of old-time and popular dance tunes, representing over 150 years of Australian musical heritage tradition. She was raised in rural Tasmania on the family farm at Guns Plains. Her father played accordion, and other members of her family sang and played fiddle and the Swanee whistle.
The what?
The Swanee whistle.
I'm not quite sure what that is.
Shall I'll fire up the Gadd machine? And no, it takes a lot of coal.
No, it takes a long time.
Yeah, it takes a long time. It's very noisy and it's very smelly. It's all the coal you have to put in to get the.
Yeah, we don't. We've run out. It's a hot day too, so don't get warmer. Yeah.
It's only going to make the whole world warmer. Anyway, so we'll have to Google that one on regular computer. As a family, they played at fortnightly social dances in the region, and Eileen would remember the rhythmic figures of tunes that she played by using word phrases. For example, take your shoes off and go to bed. That's how she used to do it. So she couldn't read or write music, but she could play music.
Oh, okay.
So it's real traditional folk music, and using that old folk tale of that, passing it on with the oral tradition. The Ethel McCoy chap I mentioned,
yes,
yeah, she married him, and she was born in the year of the snake.
Yeah, that's cool because I'm year of the snake too.
And he was born in year of the ox.
I know.
And I believe you're married to an ox.
I am married to an ox. It's
extraordinary.
It's extraordinary.
Astrology proved true right here on the Tasmanian Heritage Fiddle podcast. Anyway, but she outlived him by decades, and in later years, she went around touring all around Australia doing country music.
Yep.
But after he died, she just went back into focusing on the tunes she'd learnt as in her youth and resurrected a lot of those old 1920s, 1930s dance tunes, and that's one of them. Take your shoes off and go to bed.
That's really cool.
So that Steve Gadd Bot 2000 was absolutely worth the money.
Every cent.
A lot cheaper than a real one too. I was going to give him award wages, but he said you can have this for $14.95.
Well, $14.95,
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
So we'll play another tune, shall we?
Yes.
Right. What do you want to play?
Shall we do a Lang tune?
Yeah, let's do a Lang tune. Yeah.
Yes.
So if we do a Lang tune, are we going to do Dr. Moore and Richmond Lasses together or separately?
Oh, we'll do them separate.
All right, very good. What do you want to do first?
I will do some Richmond Lasses next, I think.
Very good.
I feel up for that.
I think I remember the tune. It's pretty basic. I'm not doing that much in it.
Yeah, I'm doing more than you. I'm actually playing the notes. I'm playing the tune.
I'm just guessing the chords. All right. Well, now we've got that established. All right. Very good.
Do you want to do your fancy intro?
Yeah, it's okay. The fancy intro. This is Alexander Lang. We've spoken about him quite a bit on the show. He was the convict fiddler from early 19th century. This is the Richmond Lasses, and this is my very special intro. seat of my pants on that one.
That was nice. I played my bit really nice.
Thanks. So that was the Richmond Lasses by convict fiddler Alexander Lang. Now, he was the most heteronormative of all the convict fiddlers. He wrote an inordinate number of tunes based on his sexual attraction to members of the opposite sex. So he was permitted to have a fiddle back in the day. Yeah, they gave him a fiddle license.
Yes, because you had to
You had to be heterosexual.
Yes, he's written a lot of tunes, Miss and Mrs. in his titles.
Shall I consult the Gadbot readout?
Sure, do it.
Yes, so it doesn't say much about Richmond Lasses, but the next song we're going to play is one he wrote about a man.
Yes, we can do that, yeah.
And this was Dr. Moore on parade with the Derwent Rifles, which is a tune that we a tune that we affectionately refer to as Dr. Moore on parade. In 1861, Dr. Moore was Dr. Moore was co-founder of the Derwent Rifles, and as a commissioner of the New Norfolk Asylum, he was Lang's superior during the time that Lang served there in 1856 and onwards. So after Lang became warden there, he resigned his position as the New Norfolk jailer. So he came out on the boat as a convict.
Yes.
Arrived here and they said, we're kind of short on jail. We've got a lot of convicts here and we haven't got a lot of staff. We'll make you a deal. And he took it. So, yeah, that was Dr. Moore was a fellow, and he used to strut about with his rifles looking ever so shiny and impressive. Just in case the Russians cunningly came from out underneath Antarctica and invaded England by way of Tasmania, which was a big fear back in the day.
Yes, I know.
They didn't have a lot of maps.
No. That's a really big effort to go from Antarctica.
That's a lot of effort, yeah. I can imagine just being in there with Governor Arthur Phillip going, it's a lot of effort, Sir Philip. Are you sure this is feasible? Are you sure
the Russians are hardcore, but even they have limits.
That's right. Anyway, so this tune we're going to play now is another Lang tune.
Yeah.
It's called Dr. Moore on Parade. It's called Dr. Moore on Parade. Dr. Moore on Parade. I feel sad now that we've got the Gadbot because we have to tell the truth about these tunes.
Well, we can maybe sneak in a couple of water slide jokes or something.
Well, I would have said that it was in commemoration of every year that the people of Hobart got the stupidest doctors and paraded them down the street. It's the Dr. Moore on Parade.
Well, yeah, that would
have been a lot more fun. The kids could have, bought show bags. There could have been rides.
Well, that could still happen.
Yes,
could still happen. Dream big.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we doing?
We're doing Dr. Moore on Parade.
Very good.
All right.
I'll follow your lead. Are you going to intro this?
Yeah, I will.
Oh, thank God.
I'll just play the first section.
I'll just bluff my way through.
Sure.
Okay, very good. Thanks. I was a bit late on some of them.
That's all right. You got there.
It's an interesting tune because it's that old E minor jig, but then you've got these harmonic devices that are sort of either late or early to the bar. So if you look at that first bar, you're like going, which is fairly standard, but then in the second half it's like, and then if you're not sort of paying attention, that half bar of C wigs me out.
Yeah.
But it's a fun one to play.
It's a fun one to play. I really like playing jigs. But, it's a different compared to Richmond Lasses. I find Richmond Lasses I can really get comfy with the 6/8 feel, but with the Dr. Moore I always feel a bit awkward with it. I'm getting obviously more comfortable with it now, but when I first got it I was like, okay, kind of just because of the rhythm at the beginning, it's da 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 da. It's a bit different than your standard 6/8. It's just, kind of more how Richmond Lasses is, just sort of pushes, just chugs along.
Right, because that dotted quaver at the start there.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I've got... when I first learned it, I was like, because I initially just didn't want to do it. I just wanted to do it just how it be, like just straight 6/8 without the dotted quaver. But that's all right. That's just me.
Did you get confused when you're playing that one because you're sitting in that E minor key with other ones you do a lot, like Cooley's Reel or Homebrew or something like that?
No, I don't get too...
And if confused. If you don't, what's the distinction between those tunes for you?
Between those tunes, well, Cooley's Reel's a reel, so that's a totally different groove.
Yeah, right, okay. Don't we play that as a 3? I've got a feeling there's triplets in there or something. But
yeah, there are, but I play it... a reel has a different feel than a 6/8, because 6/8 you're pushing on the 1 and 4 as a fiddler.
Because reels are in 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 2. But, 6/8s... 6/8 or Jeeks can be 6/8 or 9/8, which is kind of like a slip Jeek type thing. But 6/8, you're going 1, you're pushing on the 1 and the 4, so it's really quick and dancey. With the reel, it's just driving gun ho, and the polka, well, that's a different feel as well. So I don't really get mixed up between them.
Right.
It's just different feels for each of them, like how I bow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you bow it?
Oh, well, that's a long conversation.
All right, very good. Well, before we have that long conversation, let's just remind people that if you like this podcast, there's really only one way to support us, and that is stand up very loudly wherever you are listening and just start applauding like crazy, like you've got some spasm, just going like, yeah, and people go, what are you doing? I'm listening to this podcast. It's bloody good. That's one way you can support us. Oh, there is another way. We also have the album available on Bandcamp, so you get this podcast for free. It's for free. That's why you can hear the production values of the traffic going past. It's in the soundproof studios here on Kingston Highway. But the album we did previously is available on Bandcamp, so you can just pop onto that and grab that if you feel like it. That'll go a long way to sort of helping us get some more gear so that we can go on the road and interview people.
Yes, that'd be nice.
Like the real Steve Gadd, because, man, I think that Steve Gadd bot's leaking oil on your carpet, man.
Oh, great, I have to clean that up.
I'm sorry.
God.
That's, kind of
a mess.
Smells like petrol. Should computers smell like petrol?
I don't know, man. Let's just keep going.
All right, cool. What are we going to do next?
So I'm gonna talk a bit now. It's my talking bit. It's my talking time. But I also should remind our listeners that we have a gig this Saturday night at St David's Cathedral for the Burning Desires concert series. We mentioned it last week. It's on this Saturday, and it's 7:30 concert. So if you haven't bought your tickets, and if you want to listen to the Tassie tunes with the amazing Isaac G on double bass.
And we're also, that's November 28th, 2020, by the way, that Saturday.
Yes.
But also, Tom Rhimes will be joining us on piano.
Yeah, that's going to be nice.
Yeah, and that's at St David's. That's going to be spectacular.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a good one.
But seating is limited, so book in real quick and it's coming up fast.
Yeah. So the next tune we're going to play is a tune by Paddy Riley, and I gave her a quick call before.
Yes, because the Steve bot pumped out some information here. It said that Paddy Riley was a freedom fighter from Quebec who learnt jazz as a way to defeat the English, who were confused by jazz's free-form nature and improvisational stuff. That's what.
Well, that's probably okay.
I would have believed that if you hadn't have called her.
She's gonna love that. All right, so I've actually got,
you got the dirt.
I've got like some paper here. I wrote some little jots down. So look, Paddy came out to Australia in 1983, and she came out here on a working holiday and decided to stay.
Where was she from?
Canada.
Quebec,
yeah.
See?
Well, but she did sing in local jazz groups, and she got yeah, so that's fine. And she got really into singing a cappella a fair bit. So. Yeah, that's probably where the singing bit came from. And at the age of 57, she took up the fiddle, and she went to Marjorie Gadd for lessons. And Glen Huon Waltz was the first tune she ever wrote, and that was also how she was writing music helped her to read music because she wanted to be able to read. So that's why she took up the fiddle, to help with her reading music. And when she was writing, Marjorie was like, write them down. So that's sort of, helped her to read music. And so Glen Huon was her first tune she ever wrote, and it's 13 years old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right on. Just entering, high school or something? Or something like that. What, middle high school age?
Well, I was.
The song?
The song, yeah, it's middle. Yeah, it's middle school.
Right.
Yeah.
You're looking at me going, I'm looking at you going, I don't know what I just said either.
I don't know what you said.
I just talk.
Anyway, yeah, so...
So Glen Huon Waltz, yeah?
Yeah.
And this is one we've recorded recently.
It is, and I'm really excited with how this has come out. So that's going to be on the second album, folks. So
I'm going to make a little promise with you folks now, with the audience. If I stuff this up, because it's going to be me that stuffs it up, we'll give you a sneak preview at the end of this podcast. If I get it right, you get nothing. Nothing!
Yeah, it's a beautiful tune. And she actually told me on the phone that she was sitting down playing it on her mandolin the other day because she doesn't play fiddle so much now. And she was like, oh, this is a really nice tune. I'm like, yes,
it is a nice tune. It is.
So, yeah, it's a beautiful little tune. So this is the Glen Huon Waltz. Are you ready?
Yes. Well, it looks like you're going to get that tune at the end of the podcast, folks.
You got the plagal cadence at the end.
Ah,
man,
the plagal cadence.
It's like the favourite, man.
It took us years to learn that.
You went to jazz school, man. You should know that.
I should know. I should have known. I was so frightened.
It's okay. Well, you give them a little snippet at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, well, at the end, we'll give you a preview of the next album that we're working on of all Tasmanian tunes, and you can have a listen to that song and what we're going to do with it as like a preview for what's coming up on the next album. The first album is, of course, available on Bandcamp, but you can have a listen to that and get all excited. We did a nice version of that, I think, because we had the time and the technology to take out all the fluffs.
Just your bits, yeah.
No,
that's good. It's fine. That was really nice. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, that's a pass.
That's a pass. P's get degrees.
Don't we know it?
Oh, it's my mantra.
No. Yeah. So we're up to our last tune.
We are up to our last tune, yeah. So we promised you 5 tunes, a podcast, and this will be the 5th one. Honestly, I don't know how this one's going to go. But no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be lovely. But what can we tell you? We're the Wolfe and Thorn. I'm CC Thornley. This is Emily Wolfe on the fiddle, and we've got the Facebooks and the websites and all that sort of stuff. If you want to get in touch with us, the podcast will be available on all the platforms as well. And if you want to support us, just pop in. You can have this for free. We're not with the first 10. We're not going to really get worried about getting serious about that, so you can have these for nothing, just for the sheer love of it. And then if you wanted to support us, you could go over to Bandcamp and purchase an album. One-time purchase.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. There's also some stuff there from the Black Swans of Trespass, which is pay what you like. And also, just hope that you really enjoy some of these Tassie tunes and the way we're sort of playing them in this informal kind of environment. And if you want to pull out your instrument and play along, if you want the sheet music, you can get in touch with us through Facebook or through the website or whatever you like. And we'll send you those tunes if you want to know anything more. If you're in town, if you're a local and you want to get involved, there's the Tasmanian Heritage Fiddle Ensemble in Hobart. You can come along to that. We take everybody, all skill levels. I mean, obviously you have to play an instrument, but
yeah, you
can't just rock up and sit there and eat soda pop or whatever. But if you're down south and you can't get to Hobart, there's the Huon chapter, which is run by the original Steve Gadd. Yes.
Steve and Marjorie Gadd.
Yeah, and the Steve Gadd 2000. Yeah.
Cool. I believe you've got some
yes, we've got
information.
Speaking of the Steve Gadd Bot 2000, it spat out some information here. Geez, I tell you what, that's bloody good technology that goes into this thing.
Yep.
I mean, Steve just said, here, have this. I said, what's it going to do? He goes, trust me, I've programmed all the information into this.
It's very handy.
You'll need this 2.5 kilograms of coal as well, because it runs on steam. And also good wishes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, all the old Tassie computers ran on coal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, where was I? Sorry, what are we doing?
We're going to do Down Longford Way.
Oh, Down Longford Way by Kitty Parker. So Kitty Parker, she was a pianist and a composer, and she was born in 1886 at Parknook in Cressy, Tasmania. But she lived at Longford for quite some time, and in early 1909 she went to London to study with the British-based Australian composer, pianist Percy Grainger. Now, I'm a huge Percy Grainger fan.
Yes.
I love his music and I love his sexual aberrations as well, which he's more sort of famous for these days, which is a shame because his music was actually a better quality.
Yes, so you've told me.
But actually, Percy Grainger prophesied rock and roll. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
He said that what will happen in the future, he said in that Edwardian Australian, that old school, what will happen in the future is that people will throw away the artifice of music and they will go straight back to the backbeat. Folk music will come to the fore and we'll throw away all these affectations of Edwardian society and we'll simply just play songs with a simple beat and a simple message. And that will be the future of 20 and even nay 21st century musics.
That's amazing.
That's what he said. Well, I imagine him saying it, but that's kind of what he said. I'm paraphrasing what he said. And I'm also putting on a voice. I'm pretty sure he didn't sound like that, but he looks like he would have sounded like that.
Yeah.
Whip me again, mummy.
Okay, moving on.
Grainger described Parker as the most gifted piano pupil he ever had. He said, She did everything by nature or out of the good teaching she had at the Melbourne University Conservatorium. And I felt a fool trying to teach her. That's what he said. In 1930, in 1930, Kitty Parker sent Granger 4 musical sketches, which included the piece for which she is best known, which is called Down Longford Way, and that was written in 1928, around the time of our Don Bradman, which is a song by... Don't look up that song. It's one of Jack O'Hagan's worst songs. Written in 1928, inspired by her hometown, and Granger orchestrated that in 1935. In London, in World War II, Kitty drove an ambulance right into a Nazi's face.
Oh, wow, really?
Well, I added the last bit for drama. But she drove an ambulance anyway. In 2012, a massed group of fiddles, cellos and other stringed instruments numbering over 200 participants played Down Longford Way on the public lawns at Longford. They were issued by a fine from the Longford City Council for noise and obstruction. It was the biggest fine ever issued in Tasmania's history, and to this day still has not been paid. The song was a modified version of Percy Granger's brass band arrangements of Kitty's tune. They shifted the key from the original E flat to the fiddle-friendly key of D. The arrangement we're going to play now was a Tas Heritage fiddle arrangement and strips it back to the original air and removes Granger's arty excursions to bring out the folk tune that Kitty started with. And that arrangement that we're going to play today is an arrangement that was devised by Steve Gadd. The real Steve Gadd, not the Steve Gadd Bot 2000.
I didn't know that that they got a fine. Or did you just make that up? I never know. Like, you're reading it from the Steve.
I know. And it's like I'm reading it. See, that's how you get people to believe you. You say stuff as though you're reading it, because if you're reading it, it must be true. A lot of that was true.
I'm just not... Well, I knew about the... Yes, they all gathering in Longford and playing like over 200. I knew about it.
Yeah. The authorities in Tasmania, as we've discovered recently, really don't like public music. It's kind of a weird schism between what the law sees as very serious offence and what people see. So people see an offence like being naked in public is pretty bad, whereas the law sees singing in public similar to being naked in public. But the law will be naked in public whenever it likes.
Yes. I don't know. We could spend... I think that's a different podcast to unravel that.
Yeah, big shout out to Nicole McIntyre out there. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Right, let's play Down Longford Way to see us out on this third episode.
I should point out, Nicole McIntyre, she wasn't naked in public. She was singing in public.
No, she was singing in public.
And they arrested her, yeah.
She was singing on a bus, actually.
On a bus, yeah. Still public.
Yeah, still public. Yeah.
Quietly. She was in the key of bus.
Yeah, in the key of bus.
Not like she was just banging on her own tune. The bus was there with her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's quite ridiculous. But.
Quite. This is Down Longford Way by Kitty Parker, encouraged by Percy Granger and arranged by Stephen Gadd, 1928. good tune.
Beautiful tune.
It's your dad's favourite.
It is my dad's favourite.
He always asks us to play this tune.
He does. And that's on the upcoming album as well.
Yes, because I made one slight mistake that you wouldn't have noticed, I won't put that one there. Yeah. I won't put that one at the end, but we'll give you a sneak with Glen, Huon, Waltz at the end of this podcast. So when we say goodbye, don't go away. It's just like the end credits of a Marvel film. You just got to sit there and wait for 5 minutes.
Wait patiently.
Yeah, something will come up. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for enjoying the podcast so much. The feedback we've had has been terrific, and so forth. So we really enjoy making it.
Yeah, we do. There's smiles most of the time.
Most of the time.
Give looks half the time.
Once we get the cat off the couch, it's fine. It's good.
Well, I just hope this time the Zoom's actually recorded all of it this time.
Did it? Let me just check. Yeah, I think... Is it... Yes, dear God. Oh, thank God.
Good. Okay, good. All right.
Between that and hooking up the Steve Gadd bot 2000, it's very stressful.
We've done great with technology today. We've winning.
We've done
great.
We'll see you next week around Wednesday for more music and buffoonery. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you.